To see you the way you're mashing now with the top sluggers in all of baseball. Continued success. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, good conversation there with Hunter Dozier. And take a look. And look at the OPS plus. 100 is league average. He's at 198. The power of two men. So hitting 342. Healthy batting average underneath it. The strikeout percentage, walk percentage is already good. And you see he's not chasing Carlos. I know that's big for you. O swings at 24%. He is not chasing pitches outside of the zone. That's the #1 hitter right now, today, in the American League. So what is he doing right? Do you want this? Just
please.
Yes, go ahead.
You know what? You mentioned that he's not chasing pitches out of the zone. You're like, okay, he's got a better eye. But in reality, I'm going to go strictly with the plan. The fact that he actually has a plan, so he is looking in the zone and attacking that zone. So it goes a long way when you do that. And let me show you. You got a breakdown for that I want to take you through, because it's very evident that to me that it's more about his approach and about his timing than anything else. These are fastballs last year that weren't beating him. These fastballs are in the upper part, inner part of the strike zone, and he's really late on those fastballs, John. And it seems like he can't get to them. They're uncomfortable swings, right? See how late he was?
Right there, yeah.
I mean, really late. I mean, he's like 3 feet late. He should have hit that ball way out in front. But this year, here he comes. Same type of fastballs, guys. But all of a sudden, he's getting this clean swing at the baseball. The swing looks pretty much the same. But all of a sudden, the output is different. The result is different. The sound of the bat is different. I mean, he's slugging the baseball when the fastballs are thrown in the inner part and the uppermost and innermost part of the plate, going deep, hitting home runs, going placata on people right here. Look at that. That pitch is off the plate inside and gets to it with ease. These are two swings. Not 2018, 2019, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Check this out, though, BK. You're going to love this. John, check it out. Exit velocities on fastballs in the inside part of the zone, right? 2018, 85.1 miles per hour. 2019, 94.9. We're talking about 10 miles per hour more in exit velocity on the inner part of the plate. Do you see the average? Just through the roof, right? It's 5 times better. The slugging, you kidding me? 296 to way over 1,000 on the inner part of the plate, on fastball, on plus fastballs. He's not getting beat anymore.
So why? What's happening?
Perfect. Well, as hitters, we waste a lot of time working on our mechanics. Everyone will tell you that. Like, man, we working my mechanics, working my mechanics. Doesn't matter. Please, BK, go this way. I want to keep you safe, all right? But in reality, we have worked on our swings our whole entire lives. Yes, we're going to keep on honing our skill, but the most important thing is to make sure that you give yourself enough time to hit. Make sure that you're on time to hit the pitch you're looking for. So, if I am looking for a fastball middle up, middle in, up, I have to give myself enough time. We were talking about this, John. We're talking about Rudy Jaramillo, how important it was for him to make sure that you got yourself in ready position. Get your foot down early enough to be able to hit the baseball, because you can't swing like this, right? So what is he doing now? He's getting started just a tad earlier. Earlier than he thought would be reasonable, because we get used to a certain timing mechanism, and we really believe that we're on time for those fastballs, and yet we're not, because we tend to judge speed a little bit slower than it truly is. So if I'm a young hitter, I would tell you, hey, err on the side of being early. Get started earlier than you're comfortable with, and err on that side, and you'll be surprised how you will be on time. Not late or early, but actually on time.
What if it's an off-speed?
Great question. You're like, okay, what about an off-speed? Why do we do this? Why do we do this on off-speed? Why? Because I get going. I'm late. I'm already rushing to the fastball, because I know in the back of my mind that if a fastball's coming, I'm late. So you are rushing to it. You don't even see or recognize the breaking pitch. The breaking pitch looked like the fastball you want, and then it's not. But when you're early, now you're able to calm yourself down. Now you're able to see, because there's no panic in your mind that's set off. So now I'm loading for the toughest, fastest pitch in the innermost and uppermost part of the plate, because that's the one that we want to hit out in front and on top of. We need time for that. Well, I get started. Off-speed pitches just pop up. We see them because there's no panic in ourselves. So we're able to make better decisions when there's no rush. You know, and it's incredible, because I wish I spent more time working on my timing and less time on my mechanics. And that's exactly what Hunter was talking about there.
You know, it's interesting because I was in the draft room here when he got picked. He went 8th overall. He probably wasn't an 8 pick because Kansas City had an early pick like 32. And I think that they made an adjustment. We can sign this guy for less and we'll get the guy we want and overpay, and it was Sean Manaea. So they ended up getting, in effect, 2 first-rounders. But, you know, Hunter Dozier spent 6 years in the minor leagues, and there was a couple of things that have come to mind, and I want you to comment on one of these. But he spent 6 years in the minor leagues, and he finally gets to the big leagues, and he's ready to go in 17. He gets hurt. So it is a missed season. So now they bring him up in 18 in May. They let him get a month under his belt. He comes in. He doesn't have a good year last year, but he gets experience. There used to be an adage, and it's no longer, but it used to be where they would say to minor league players, especially guys coming out of small schools, you need 2,000 at-bats in the minor leagues to learn, to get your mechanics, to get your timing, get your pitch recognition, all of those things. This guy's had about 2,000 at-bats in the minor leagues. So I think the combination of him taking a little longer to get there, and then the injury, and then last year, you know, adjusting, finding out, getting the taste of everyday play in the big leagues has led his talent to be able to be unlocked this year. Tell me about that.
Yes, because you can't improvise experience, unfortunately. The lesson that experience teaches is very valuable. But unfortunately, sometimes, because of the time that it takes to learn it, it loses its worth. That's why sometimes when I talk to young players, I'm like, please, just trust me on this. Don't go through 3 years of struggles to understand that timing is the #1 thing. And, you know, just to show you one last thing is this. I could have a perfect swing. Perfect swing. But then what happens when I'm late? Here I'm going okay, I got no time. I better clear. I better collapse on my backside in order to get the barrel to it. Now I'm swinging up and I'm out of the zone. And you're like, that was a bad swing. So I'm going to go in the cage and work on my swing because I have an uppercut. In reality, I'm treating a symptom, not the root of the problem, which is timing. Wow, I wish I knew that before I went through all the struggles, right, of all the seasoning, and kind of wasted maybe a few years of my career instead of trusting maybe a coach that said, hey, you're late, get ready to hit.
I would say that's $1 million worth of advice, but it's more like $10 to $20 million.
Yes, it is today.
If you're DVRing, rack it back. Watch it again.
Yes.
Great stuff. Hey, Stack